on this hot ass muggy day in June. We're going to break down what my party did last session, last Sunday, when it was nice and crisp and not hot as balls. I'm sweating in my room. God save me. Until then, let's talk about what my party did. So, last we left off, they were in the Three Kings. They're doing shopping, baby. To be fair, it's natural. They've been playing in this campaign for a year and a half, and this is like the first time they've gone to a shop that hasn't blown up, or they haven't killed the shop owner. So, to be expected. They went to the enchanter, Kanan. They were perusing, buying. My player got rid of the item that I gave him, and I will take that blow. A little taken aback, a little hurt. Personally, I don't think the trade was worth it. They traded a arena free action to get an amulet of constitution. To be fair, he fucked up his health when he was rolling for his character. Fair enough. I think the arena free action, especially for where they're about to go, is going to be better. But I'm not a player, and he doesn't have all the knowledge. Who's to say? They used the gold to cover the difference, but while they were in the shop, they actually got some information from Kanan. And Kanan is the enchanter that runs this kind of enchanting shop. It's called Molten Vein Smithy. He and his brother Angram run the store together. Anyway, the party was talking about this missive that they got from the Blackmores, about how to visit them at the manor, to come see them about a job. Pays around 2,000 gold pieces. The party, brokies, certified hobos. They don't have any wealth to their name. They are pretty much just like dirt. So, they are going to do this quest. I knew they were going to take it because they have zero funds. So, it was pretty much like, it's not the main quest, but it's a side quest for them to get some more XP, get some loot, get some monies, so that way they can buy what they want. Anyway, Kanan warned them that 5 other adventuring groups before them have gone in with the same goal, to go into that quest, complete it, get the money. They have not returned. And he speculated that their Blackmores are not telling the adventurers that partake in the quest everything. So, with that being said, the party leads out with a little bit of speculation in the air. Before they left, he also mentioned that if they do take the quest, that he wants a specific blade from one of the bodies, from an elven girl named Sylvie. If they can return that blade to him, he'd be willing to offer compensation. Pretty much her down payment to buy the sword, because he gave it to her on loan. The party takes the jagged path. Pretty much it's just a craggy stone path with different... If you live in the Midwest, you know you can't skate on the sidewalks because you're gonna... board goes the other way. Your torso keeps going because it's pretty cheeks. Kind of the same idea, except add like a telephone pole spike in the middle of the ground and you have to kind of walk around it. It's a path, not a good one, but it's called the Jagged Path for a reason. They took that all the way to the estate, where they got mugged outside the mansion. What is it with wealthy people mugging, or at least in the D&D universe, mugging people that come to their house to make sure that they're strong enough? It seems like a cliche, but I threw it in. It kind of worked. Once they kind of proved that they could fight, they had dinner. They got cleaned up. They were introduced to Avarice Blackmore. And Avarice is... he's a quirky individual. He's a quirked up white boy. I'll say that for this. He's a drow. Maybe he's not a white boy, but he's a drow. He is a certified drow. He all black hair, white stripe going through, very clean, very proper. Speaks in a very sultry, precise, drawn out tone. That's the kind of vibe he gives off. One of my players rolled an insight on him. They picked up some peculiar findings. They got a couple of the whispers in the ear. Mainly that he doesn't seem mentally all there. Didn't really know what to go with that. They didn't know where to go with that, essentially. But as they're having this dinner, very awkward, by the way, because the party composition for my group is not good. And good in the sense where you need to have at least one guy that can talk to people. Half these motherfuckers don't want to speak to anyone. Like, I mean, like, it's like pulling teeth to get a conversation happening. And that's also on me, because I run a very roleplay heavy campaign. I also try to murder them on the regular. Hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. But it was awkward, to say the least. They started talking about the weather in the Underdark. It goes just as good as you'd expect. The party eventually gets to talking to business. Avarice tells them that there is a sickness in his adamantine mine, and he would like for them to clear it. And by sickness, he says that death is lingering near. If you die in the mine, you stay in the mine and like return and reshamble and become part of whatever army is forming there. He wants the party to go to said mine, eliminate the threats, and kill the source. None of the resources from said mine should be taken out. The mine hasn't been working for the last 4 to 5 years. He wants it up. He wants it up and running and wants it operational. That being said, the party did agree to terms. And with that, they got a $500 pseudo retainer, kind of like for expenses, upfront pay from their $2,000, and then the rest upon completion. So they took that money and they hot skittled out back to the way to the Three Kings because they double booked dinners tonight. So they're going to get fat and very well fed for this day of adventuring, or I guess this would be more like what, rebel rousing, partying, eating. That's kind of how it's going. But on their way back outside to the Three Kings, as they were taking the jagged path, they are reaching a summit. Like their boys are down here at the very top of that like summit. They saw 3 cloaked individuals trailing over and then down that summit. They stopped. On a fairly high perception check, they noticed those individuals were floating. One of the party members looked to the right. 2 more came and stopped. Someone looked to the left. 2 more came, stopped. They looked down. Some entity came out of their chest, face down, slowly turned 180 degrees, looked up, and screamed in their face. To all of them, unanimously. And that's where I ended the session. And they are currently fighting for their lives, or will be fighting for their lives. It's I call these creatures heists. It's going to be a pretty interesting combat. And by interesting, I mean it's fairly hard to hit them. Not for like the AC reasons, but for how they maneuver the battlefield. So they're gonna have a good time fighting that. I think it's gonna be really good. They're one of those monsters that do high damage and have high maneuverability, but not a lot of health. So it's gonna be a good fight, especially since my party does not like to move during combat. Kind of on me, kind of not. But yes, that is the campaign. We're all caught up. Next session, they should either, I'm fairly certain they're going to end combat and probably have the dinner. Probably not make too much progress on that. But I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to have another video coming out soon. Make sure you watch it. It's going to be pretty much me going over how to make interesting characters. So if you hit my like, if you want to learn how to make some pretty cool characters or how to make your NPCs seem a little bit more lively or make them memorable, tune in. I'm going to be posting that probably next week. I procrastinate a lot, so we'll see what I get done. Have a good night, guys.